Hello and welcome back to Market House, a podcast where we talk all things Disney. My name is Caleb.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we're back. We're back for episode number 33. We are so excited. We're talking, of course, the top Disney news, the latest headlines, as well as we're going to give you some tips on kind of navigating the parks during summer.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's very important, especially during this time of year. So excited for that.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? First day of summer is in a month, probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it already feels like summer. So
Yeah, we'll get to that and why it feels like summer. But first, let's dive into the news. But before we do that, we have to give an update on where we're at with the Marvel rewatch.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we watched the entire first phase, except for we're on the Avengers. Mm-hmm. So we're on the first Avengers movie. We'll probably watch that tonight or tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And it's been good so far.
Yeah, so far, for those who don't know the order, we've watched Iron Man, number 1.
Yeah, and then we skipped Incredible Hulk. That's the one with Edward Norton.
Yeah, and then it was Iron Man 2.
Uh-huh.
And then we just finished Captain America.
No, you're missing Thor.
Oh, Thor. Oh, my gosh.
Iron Man 2, Thor, then Captain America, and then now we're going to hit into Avengers.
Wow, good for us. We're on a roll.
Yeah. It's been a lot of nights of movies and popcorn.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's been fun. But yeah, so far, what's been your favorite?
I think the Iron Man movies. I love
movies, plural?
Movies.
If you pick one, though?
Yeah, that's kind of hard. I think I have to say Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1. I like in Iron Man 2 how they're more established, like character-wise, like you know who they are.
Yeah.
But there's just something about the first Iron Man movie where yes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
You like Elon Musk, his little cameo in episode,
so random.
Episode 2 and the second one.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. Now we know who he is. Back then, people didn't even know, I don't think, really who he was.
Yeah.
So now when you watch it back, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Elon Musk. Yeah. So getting through the Marvel movies, we'll continue to do that. And again, we'll check back when we make some progress.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into that news. All right, first up, we've got some Pixar news. It looks like a new movie's coming out next year called Elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah, so comes out June 16th, 2023, so almost exactly a year away. And I'm excited for this, even more so, because the last Pixar release I wasn't a giant fan of. So I'm waiting to, the next... Wait, they're coming out with a lot. Hold on. It's just clicking to me that they just had Turning Red that came out.
Yeah, Luca.
Well, Luca was a while ago. That was like a year ago. Yeah.
Was it really a year ago?
It was during the pandemic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because it went straight to Disney Plus. It was a good movie. But they have Lightyear coming out in a month. Mm-hmm. And then they got this. Yeah, so they're coming out with a lot of movies per year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So, why don't you read the description of what this thing is all about?
Yes, so the description reads, in a city where fire, water, land, and air residents live together, a fiery young woman and a go-with-the-flow guy will discover something elemental. How much they have in common.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest description I've ever read.
Yeah.
But
I like how they mention the name of the movie in it. It's like all I see is the meme with Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Where he's pointing at the TV and he's like, they said the thing. They did it.
Oh, yes, that's true.
They said the name of the movie.
Backstory on the description, though. The whole fiery young woman and go with the flow guy. These aren't normal human characters.
No, they look like...
Yeah, the lady that plays the girl character is like a ball of... Yeah, she's a flame.
Yeah. So what people are comparing this to is if Inside Out and Avatar: The Last Airbender had a baby. And this is what Elemental is.
Okay, so I haven't heard of that, but you know what it just reminded me of? That little guy in Soul. The one that's checking all the people that have died. Do you remember that? Remember the guy?
Yeah,
and he's counting and he gets mad because the soul
abacus?
is missing. Yes.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
So sorry, we're way off topic here. But I'm so excited for this movie. I love the art of Elemental, the actual that they release. That's really exciting. So again, recently with Pixar, I feel like it can go both ways. Sometimes we love them, other times
and that's a weird feeling to have, especially towards a studio that we love. Pixar is, they make the best movies, right? They had hit after hit after hit after hit, and every single one was a success, both critically and box office.
Right.
And they've had some duds, right, since then. So
And that's personally to us.
Totally.
We think this isn't overall. They haven't had duds financially. It's
No,
more of
all of them print
in our
money.
opinion. Yeah.
But there's been a few their releases in the past, let's say 8 years or so that have been okay. Like,
Right.
they're not bad movies, but they're okay. But yeah, this was directed by Peter, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Son, Sohn, who previously directed The Good Dinosaur, and produced by Denise Ream, who produced The Good Dinosaur and Cars 2. Not all movies that people like are like, oh, those are classics, man.
Right, yeah.
So curious to see how they do with this one, but it sounds like a good, fun concept.
Next up, we have a new series coming to Disney Plus, She-Hulk: Attorney at Law, which is going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Which is going to be coming out August 17th. Disney just released the trailer last week. And you know what? I'm going to come out and say it. This looks a little bizarre to me. Again, for those who don't know, this is following the main Hulk that everyone knows about with Mark Ruffalo, or who is Mark Ruffalo.
They're one and the same.
And I'm like at a loss for words because when we were watching the trailer, I noticed that the CGI on Mark Ruffalo's Hulk character was like really nice.
Yeah.
And then the CGI that they used on her wasn't as nice.
Yeah, so
It was weird.
I went straight to, of course, the internet after we watched. So we had just finished a workout in our garage, and we usually stretch to some YouTube.
Yeah.
And then we saw this trailer recommended to us, and we were like, oh my gosh, what's this new thing coming out? So we were watching it in the garage, and the first thing we both looked at each other and said, the CGI looks a little off, like in general, right?
Yeah.
He looked better, but even so, not as polished as we're used to.
Yeah.
So I went to the internet right when we got inside, and I was like, okay, so we weren't alone, I guess, at the end of the day. A lot of people have the same opinion. CGI looks a little wonky, but there are some good points that people made online. Number one, this is a TV budget, right? This is a Disney Plus budget, not a $200 million Avengers movie. And second, this hasn't been released, and this is just a teaser, right? So they could be finalizing and polishing up the CGI between now and the release date, which is August 17th. So that's a few months.
Yeah.
They've got a while to work on this thing.
Yeah, they definitely got some time.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's that. I'm hoping this is hey, let's get something out there and we're finishing up. Or you're just going to have to get over some weird, not so polished CGI. I don't know.
Yeah, but I got excited though just to see that Mark Ruffalo was in this series. It looks like he's helping, again, as the title states, she is an attorney.
Yeah.
And it looks like Mark Ruffalo is kind of helping her navigate
Being Hulk, right?
Being Hulk.
Yeah.
Or She-Hulk.
A Hulk.
A Hulk, She-Hulk.
One of the Hulks.
So yeah, I'm very excited for that. I'm hoping it'll be amazing. They usually are. Every time I say something that looks weird, it ends up being amazing. So
True.
here we are.
Yeah, Moon Knight you weren't so sure about and you liked it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to August 17th. But yeah, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law coming soon to Disney Plus.
All right, next up we've got some park news. Looks like Pirates of the Caribbean has an opening date.
Yes,
so it's
I'm
been
so
down.
excited.
Yeah, been down for refurbishment for a little while now, and they didn't have an opening date attached to it at all. So we didn't know. It could have been next week, could have been next month, could have been next year. Had no idea. So if you are not aware, we've talked about this before, but they are redoing the queue area in front of Pirates of the Caribbean. They ripped out those 2 trees. They were both sick and needed replacing.
Yeah.
They've since replaced those 2 trees with 2 new trees. And
I was like, where are you going with
2
that?
healthy trees. They were planted, I think, a week or 2 ago, and most of the concrete work's done. So I think, July 1st. So yeah, they're almost done with it. These things are usually slow going. Construction takes a while. So looking forward to experiencing Pirates again. Unfortunately, we're missing it by about a month.
Yeah.
We're going in early June, and this won't be done for another few weeks.
I'm super bummed.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's for the better.
Yeah.
So this is all part of that expansion project over in Pirates / Adventureland, because they're just trying to expand
With the
walkways.
treehouse
Yeah,
and-
treehouse is getting taken out, chunks of that. So yeah, trying to really make that space wide open, because that was a giant bottleneck in the past, especially with Phantasmic returning and the swarms of people. When that thing releases, it's a joke.
Right.
So yeah, this is all part of that expansion project. But yeah, it looks like everything's coming along nicely, and you can ride Pirates on July 1st.
Our last bit of news is happening over on the East Coast. We just received word that the 4th of July fireworks are returning to Magic Kingdom, which is super exciting. They are celebrating Disney Celebrate America fireworks show, which is returning July 3rd and July 4th.
Yeah, big news.
So for all you brave people that are braving those parks,
Yeah.
or that park, I should say,
4th of July.
4th
Yeah.
is hot in Orlando.
It's hot and busy.
Yes, but
Like,
you know
busy.
what? I wish I could see the fireworks there. I mean, I know you've gone, right?
Yeah,
4th of July?
at Disneyland.
Right. I think it'd be such an amazing place, but it's hot.
Yeah, it's both. I don't know if I'd use the word amazing. It's fun. I felt like sardines, man. It was.
Oh yeah, 'cause
we
you're just
couldn't
packed.
even move. We tried to get to Main Street. It was when I was a kid. Tried to get to Main Street, and we couldn't even get past Tomorrowland.
Oh my gosh.
You just couldn't. There was no room to move. I'm not kidding. Shoulder to shoulder from the entrance of Tomorrowland so we ended up watching it. I remember the monorail was partially blocking our view. So it was somewhere in Tomorrowland where the monorail was right ahead of us or above us. And it was a decent location. We saw most of it, but again, it's fireworks. I don't know. It's all fireworks to
Yeah.
me. So
Well, and it's also tricky because again, if you're going to the parks on 4th of July, you're going to see the fireworks.
Yeah.
Like it's not just
Everyone
we'll skip
stays.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and so they shut down. They hit as one of those days where they hit capacity like at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let anyone come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot, but it's a special event, and I know
Yeah.
everyone's very excited it's coming back because it hasn't been back since COVID. So we're super excited.
So excited
For that.
Well, watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, watch it on YouTube.
Cool. 4th of July, Magic Kingdom. All right, that brings us to today's main topic, our main segment. And what is that, Caitlin? Pop in here and
This
let 'em know.
is how to survive Disneyland during the summer.
Yeah. So that summer heat, man, it's coming. And I know, it's coming up fast. And I say that because we've already experienced 97 degrees here in Sacramento.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, specifically in Sacramento area, summer comes usually around April and doesn't leave until mid-November.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty toasty, man.
it's-
Especially in
yeah.
recent years, it's hot.
It's
and
very
so
hot.
we're already hitting 99 degrees next week. And we're in May. So
Yeah.
some parts of the country are still getting like snowstorms and stuff. And we're over here baking,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
in the
so
sun.
we basically thought that we would come up with some tips and tricks for you guys just to kind of go over a couple things that'll help keep you out of the heat, what to do.
Yeah, and I think it's like there's sometimes when you just can't avoid it, right? Like
Right.
your kids may be off in the summer, right, for summer break, and that's when you can vacation. For example, our timing, we usually try and go to the parks every couple of months, so it kind of dropped in early June for us, and so we usually try and avoid the parks during the summertime, especially July and August. Like we don't even consider going then. But we kind of looked at each other and said, would you rather go or not go and just kind of bake a little bit? Do you mind that? And we said, sure, let's do it. We've done it in the past. It's totally doable. And that's what we wanted to share is how to navigate it. It's a little different than your spring trip or your December trip for Christmas
Right.
time. It's just, you got to kind of work around the sun and its schedule because it's there, whether you like it or not. It's Southern California and it's hot. It is a hot place.
And it's dry heat too.
It's dry.
Like over in Orlando, you have heat plus humidity.
Yeah.
Like over here, it's just dry and you feel like the sun is about 6 inches from your face.
Yeah, especially Southern California. So again, it's all hot up and down the whole state, but Southern California's got a different sun. We always talk about it feels like it's closer to you, and that UV index is high. So not only is the sun out and hot, the intensity is crazy. So if you want to get a good sunburn, that's the place to be. So yeah, let's talk about it. Again, if you're going, that's awesome. It's exciting. It's just you'll have to approach it a little differently than a trip in the fall. All right, so let's start up with packing, because that's the first thing you need to do before you go on your trip. So again, we've covered some of this in the past. Some of this is common sense. You're going to be like, duh, like, of course I'm going to pack that. But it's, they're all very critical to being,
Right.
to making your trip a good one. So let's cover it all. Let's
Okay.
cover our bases and cover even the simple things.
Yeah, let's do it.
Like underwear. You're going to need to bring underwear. You're going to need to bring a shirt. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. No, the first tip, Caitlin, why don't you cover it?
So, first off, you guys please wear breathable clothes. for me specifically, sometimes I'm like, I want to wear my Spirit jersey. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to wear a jacket at night. No, not during the summer. It's not going to happen. And for all of us out there that like to look cute at the parks and take those cute pictures, you can still look cute. Just don't wear the Spirit jersey when it's 95 degrees outside.
And there's a little asterisk on your previous point a bit, like at night, sometimes you get lucky and that wind picks up, the Santa Ana winds.
But we're talking like once every like couple months that happens in the summertime. It's usually hot.
You're pretty good just to be in short sleeve stuff.
Right. So yeah, we're talking like active wear. I mean, again, you don't like active wear, just wear jeans, like shorts, whatever you want, whatever you feel more comfortable with, but just make sure it's breathable. Have something on that you're okay with sweating through so that it doesn't feel sticky or heavy on you.
Yeah, I've taken your advice on this one. I used to go to the parks with like my junk cotton t-shirts, right? And that's fine. It's doable. You'll get through the day. But the day you were like, no, you're bringing I think you bought me a nice, I don't know, Nike shirt or something. And it was like, the dry fit, the sweat wicking stuff. That changed my whole, like it was 90-some degrees. And I'm like, dude, this feels so much better. When a breeze picked up, I could feel it.
Yep.
I wasn't in a like black, cotton t-shirt that just soaked my sweat up and I like lived with it all day.
Yeah, because again, with the cotton shirts, it just sits.
Yeah,
because again,
it just soaks up like a towel.
Yeah, and it's we're a big fan of Lululemon has some quick drying like shorts
the
and
silver
tops.
and the silver line so they don't stink.
Yeah, it's Silver Tech, which for those of you who don't know, Lululemon has a couple items that have this Silver Tech technology, and it basically
you know all about it.
I do, and I swear by it. And again, I used to think that it was stupid when I first heard it. I'm like, there's no way. But it basically, when you work out in it or you're in a sweaty environment, it helps eliminate like bacteria that builds that makes your clothes stink.
Yeah.
So you could sweat all day and not smell. And trust me, we've done a few like workouts using this stuff, and it's true. Like they work. So just kind of having that kind of stuff at the park, or because again, you're gonna sweat no matter what. So having stuff that's quick drying or just breathable, it's key. So
nice. Second up, comfortable shoes. This is another key thing. Caitlin learned the hard way one time, and this is actually not really a summer specific. This is like all year round. Bring good shoes, and some people can get away with flip flops. I don't know how the heck you do it, but I wouldn't advise it only because you're walking all day long. Like you're walking thousands, miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, we have some friends and family who can pull off Birkenstocks and.
Birks I get because like they formed your feet and
they
stuff.
Formed your feet, but again, I'm going to speak for myself. I cannot wear Vans or Converse to the park. I learned the hard way one time. I wore Converse and I walked out of Disneyland with blisters and my feet bleeding, and Caleb had to give me a piggyback ride out of the park. And it was terrible. And again, I have plenty of friends and family who wear them and they're just fine. But it's just at the end of the day, just wear something comfortable. Like just think about your feet. You're walking so many miles.
You swear by Ultra Boost, right?
I love Ultra Boost.
Yeah, Adidas Ultra Boost. Again, they're going to set you back a little bit. They're not cheap shoes.
They last forever.
Yeah, you've had them for years.
And years and years. They're so comfortable. And again, when it's hot, like in the summertime, and your feet are swelling because of you're just sweating, it's really good to have a shoe that you don't feel like is literally cutting your circulation off because you're just so hot.
Well, they're made for working out, so they breathe and have a lot of padding. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, your feet will probably hurt still, but not as bad as if you're wearing flat Vans or cheapy shoes from the closet. So sweet. Let's go over these pretty quickly here. These other kind of tips to bring. Hats. Again, if you want to cover your face from the sun, Caitlin swears by the hats. Good sunscreen, water bottle, and that comes into play later. Battery-powered mini fan. This was a pickup on Amazon. So we were prepping for a trip for Disney World, and I'm like, we're going to be standing in some pretty long lines. I want a fan. So we picked it up for like $15.
If that.
I don't even know how much it was.
Yeah, it's really nice. It charges with a USB cord. Yep. And it folds up so you can throw it in your bag, your backpack, whatever it is. And it's amazing. You just flip it open and turn it on.
Yeah, and it second says, I think you can charge your phone off of it. And it has a flashlight. So if you're in need of light, it's all in one.
Which sometimes at night when you're trying to look through your backpack,
true.
It's nice to have.
Waiting for fireworks. So yeah, that's really good pickup. Again, Amazon, $10, $15. Buy a couple for the family. Worth every penny. And of course, sunglasses. So this is one thing I used to not do, only because I was like, oh, I don't want to have to, I bought these nice sunglasses. I don't want them being crushed in the backpack. But doing them once, like doing sunglasses in the park once, I'm like, oh, dude, this is awesome. This is nice. So protect your eyes. Again, just another thing. But you can get a sunglass tan. That's also not cool.
Also.
So I don't know. Trade-off.
Yeah. And again, with the having, because I know a lot of people have expensive sunglasses, just buy a cheap pair, throw them in your bag, like wear them at the parks.
Your travel shades.
But yeah.
Cool. Okay, so now that we're all prepped and packed for the trip, let's talk about kind of some tips for the actual park itself. How do you navigate that dang thing when it's 90 degrees outside?
Well, first off, I'm actually super excited about this. We just picked up some, and again, we're not sponsored, but we just picked up some liquid IV.
Yeah, Costco.
Yeah, we've never tried it. But I'm super excited because we heard a couple people talking about it. And basically in the summer when it is 5 million degrees at the parks, you're sweating all day. Like you're losing electrolytes, your mood's kind of going down because you're tired. But having liquid IV on you not only replenishes those electrolytes, but it also keeps you hydrated.
It sounds like you're selling it.
I know. I promise I'm not.
Click on this link.
We've tried a sip of it, and it was today at Costco.
Yeah.
But we got the tangerine flavor, and it has
very excited.
Zinc, vitamin C to keep all the germs away.
Yeah, it's immunity boost and electrolyte stuff.
Which again.
So it's like immunity Gatorade.
Yeah, which I'm excited because again, you know what? You can never be too hydrated, especially during June or July. And
yeah, so we're going to try that out for our next trip. We'll come back and, say if it did anything. But it was on sale, so we thought we'd pick some up and try it out. So yeah, first tip, the biggest tip, if you're going to take anything away from this episode, this is the thing to take away. Time the sun. Mm-hmm. Like, just understand that thing's going to be out and blazing from about 2 to 5 p.m. That's the hottest part of the day down there. And it is, I'm not kidding you, it's intense. Like, again, you think home's hot, right? If you live in Nevada, whatever, Idaho, Utah, it gets warm there. I get it. Bro, SoCal sun.
It's just different.
It's hot. It is intense. Like, it zaps energy immediately.
And depending on which park you're at, which we'll talk about later, it makes it worse.
Huge difference.
Yes.
So, yeah, UV index, sun's hot. It's unbelievable. It can be miserable standing in a line. I can think back, one thing that just is like, it's seared in my memory, and we haven't ridden the ride since because of just our experience. We waited in Peter Pan, like at 2 o'clock, not listening to our own advice. I was so hot. Yeah. And by the time we were on the ride, I was just mad.
Well, and it was one of those where it said it was 30 minutes. It was not. It was like 55. And again, you're in those lines. You're like stuck in there like sardines. So there's no air movement.
Yeah, the switchbacks.
And it's just hot. And then when you get into the enclosed area of the ride, all the heat is just sitting.
Yeah.
Everyone smells. Everyone's sweating. Everyone's cranky.
Yep.
Hot.
Yeah. So this is our tip to avoid this. Is take that midday break. And yes, you're paying so much money. I get it 100%. You're paying thousands of dollars most of the time to be in that park, and you want to take every chance you can get to be in those gates, right? I get it. Like, you've made this trip, you saved up for a couple of years, you're there for 3 days only, and I want to get every single dollar out of this dang ticket, but it's just not worth it. At the end of the day, you'll enjoy your experience so much more by just taking that midday break, and we'll tell you what to do during that break. But again, 2 to 5 p.m., just avoid being in the sun if at all possible. So in the morning, try and hit up Fantasyland.
And rope drop.
Yeah, rope drop, if you can. So like, again, a vacation, me and you and I, we're not the types that we want to wake up at, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning to try and hit rope drop.
Right.
But it might be worth it. If you can only go to the parks every couple of years,
yeah,
it might be worth getting there super early.
And if not, if you're like, hey, I have littles, I can't be there at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Just get there before 9 o'clock, I would say.
The most, from my understanding, the most popular time that people arrive is 10:30 a.m. Your security line is going to be 40 minutes long.
Yes.
Your line to get into the park is going to be another half an hour. So it's going to be an hour by the time you get through all of those security checks and ticket checks, and it's lunchtime by that point.
And keep in mind, with you being in security, it's usually already almost 90 degrees at that point.
It's hot.
So you're just sitting in those lines.
Yeah, so you're already starting off with there's no payoff at the end. There's just getting your butt through the gate. So try and get there as early as possible. Knock out Fantasyland. So all those old rides with those switchbacks, and you're in
like the outside queues.
Yeah, the outside queues, no AC, right? In those rooms, like in Peter Pan, in Mr. Toad's, it's hot. There's no air movement. Right. So try and knock those out in the morning. Try and knock out, like, it's a small world. Again, Fantasyland in general, just try and knock all that out in the morning. There's not a lot of shade in those queues. Another ride that just kind of comes to mind is Big Thunder Mountain. That's most of that's in the sun.
Yeah.
And can get hot.
It's a small world as well.
Yeah.
All on
Fantasyland.
There's hardly any covering, only except that side area where all the trees are.
I would argue, yeah, Matterhorn, anything in Fantasyland, just knock it out in the morning if at all possible. And this is going to be kind of like whatever, but most of DCA, like, their lines are in the sun.
Right.
Soarin' is miserable.
Yeah.
Incredicoaster, miserable.
You tell them the story.
Yeah, so we went to the park with a friend. He lived down there at the time in LA. And he's like, hey, are you guys coming to the parks anytime soon? We said, yeah, let's meet up, whatever. So we met him up around lunchtime, I think.
Yeah.
Right? We went and grabbed some lunch. And again, being with a friend, normally you and I would go, hey, let's go back to the hotel, take a nap, kick our feet back. But again, when you're meeting a friend, you're like, hey, we want to take advantage of all the time.
Yeah, let's do whatever.
Yeah, so he's like, I want to ride Incredicoaster. Okay, let's go. It was so hot.
Yeah.
My shirt was drenched.
And not to be like TMI, we're talking like you're standing still and you can feel sweat dripping down your back.
Yeah.
Like it was, because again, even if it is a little bit enclosed, there's just so much heat packed because, again, DCA was originally intended to be a boardwalk feel. So there's not a ton of trees over there.
No.
All the rides are outside, like all the queues. So it's just like, it's so hot.
Really hot, and it's concrete, so it just absorbs the heat.
Exactly.
So it's a hot park. DCA, they've improved a little bit over by like aerials and stuff. They've got some big trees over there, but it's just a hot park. 90% of it's hot. So try and knock that out in the morning and the evening, and again, take that midday break. But let's talk about what you can do during that midday break.
Yeah, to get out of the sun and kind of recoup.
Exactly. So for families, hotel, probably the best option. Again, with little guys and little girls, you want to get them off their feet.
Yeah.
Nap time.
Swimming.
Yeah.
Snacks.
Take advantage of that hotel that you're paying $300 a night for and use that pool. Naps, movies, watch TV, all that good stuff. I hated it as a kid. Like, I wanted to stay at the park all day long, but I'm so glad my parents made me go back, because if I stayed at the park all day, I'd be exhausted and grumpy by dinner time.
Right. It never sounds like a fun idea going back to the hotel until you take a nap, and then you're like, I feel amazing.
You feel so much better after taking that nap.
Yeah.
Other options.
Which we love to do.
Yeah, this is what we opt to do most of the time. Sometimes we don't want to go back to the hotel because we're adults and we like doing adult things. I don't know. I think I'm like still living my childhood dream. When I was 13 years old, I would always think, I can't wait, to go with my girlfriend or wife, whatever, and we're going to go to the park all day long. I tell my mom, like, I'm going to do, when I'm old enough, I'm going to be here all day. And she's like, yeah, good for you, bro.
Which we were at the beginning when we first started to go. Like, we would be there like literally at 8:30 in the morning until like midnight. And then we'd go shopping like on Main Street until like 1 in the morning.
How do we do that?
Now I'm like, meh. We'll get there by like 9:30, 10.
Yeah, and then we're like
7.
We're leaving after dinner. We're like, all right, see you guys. No, but if you want to stay around the park, here are some things that we like to do. We like to go grab some sprinkles or salt and straw down in downtown Disney. Take it over to the Grand Californian.
Yes, it's so nice with the AC inside of there.
Yeah, so grab an ice cream, grab a cupcake, go mosey on over to the Grand Californian. It takes a little work. You have to go through security again, but 150,000% worth it.
We usually do it every trip.
Yeah.
Even if it's not hot.
Because that lobby is a destination in itself.
Yeah, and again, even if you're going in the fall or the winter, whenever you're going spring, it's nice in there when it's hot. It's nice in there when it's cold. It's cozy.
Yeah,
like it's
you got
just
the
a
fire
good,
when it's cold.
And it's quiet, so it's just a good area and time to take a break.
Yeah. So that's one of our favorite things to do. Trader Sam's. If you're an adult over 21 years of age.
Yeah.
None of you kids with fake IDs are allowed to do this. Trader.
Not at Disney.
Not at Disney. Trader Sam's.
Yeah, we love Trader Sam's.
A sweet, if you have not been here, please go in your next trip. Maybe a friend wants to watch the kids if you got little ones, or grandma and grandpa, if they came with you, have them watch them at the hotel. Head over to Trader Sam's. It's a cool tiki bar over on Disneyland Hotel's property.
Yes.
It is amazing.
And reservations are required. They do have a walk-up list, but it's not always guaranteed.
Yeah. So very popular spot. So get there. I don't know. Make reservations. But that's a fun place to get out of the sun, get a midday drink, and shopping at World of Disney.
Which is our favorite.
Yeah, it's that giant store in downtown Disney. It's Gigantor, and you can spend easy an hour or two there shopping.
Right.
Yeah, so for those of you who like to stay in the park all day, so again, if you're going to ignore everything we just talked about, and you're like, no, bro, thanks though, and you want to take advantage of that ticket, I get it. Here are some other suggestions. Caitlin, why don't you take this?
Yeah. So again, these are things that we love to do because again, sometimes we do like to stay at the park. Shopping on Main Street or heading over to DCA and going on to Buena Vista Street for some shopping. You can get some apparel, you can get some pins, you can get some treats, whatever you're looking for, all there. There's also a show on Main Street, Moments with Mr. Lincoln. It is very cold. Like AC is perfect in that building.
It's dark.
It's dark. I've taken a nap. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids probably don't think it's very entertaining.
I think it's a little boring. But
wow.
I know.
That's President Lincoln you're talking about?
I love Lincoln. But again, the AC is pumping in there. So definitely take advantage of that. One of our all-time favorite things to do in DCA is head over to the Animation Academy. Again, that is the big room with all the screens. They're playing music. You can do Turtle Talk with Crush inside. You can do animation drawing when you do all the characters with an actual, what are they called? Not animator. What does Disney call them?
Yeah, I think it's artist, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, animation artist. We love doing that. It's always fun. But again, it's just a good area just to relax, take a break.
Yeah, and right next to there is our favorite store, that Off the Page.
Yes, Off the Page. And they have some art in there. And it's a really nice area. But yeah, if you're at the park, you're like, I kind of want to ride a ride. We highly suggest just getting on the train. We love getting on the train next to Haunted Mansion and the Mint Julep Bar. There's a little exit.
Train station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite place to get on the train. Just sit on there for a little bit. I know you're still outside, but it's just nice sitting down.
You get a breeze going.
With a breeze.
And it's covered.
Exactly. Or I feel like I'm like promoting this for Disney, but over in not the new theater, but over by Small World, there is the Lion King show, which is starting on May 28th.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yes. So again, there's so many options. If you want to stay at the park, if you don't want to go to the park, you want to get out, you want to go back to the hotel, you want to go to downtown Disney.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do to get out of the sun and just kind of get just a little break with the fam.
Yep.
So,
but keyword is break.
It's important.
Midday break.
You need it. And it's one of those things, again, where I understand and we've fallen into the trap of like, we've paid so much to be here. I want to enjoy every second, but I promise you it makes it's so much better if you just take that break.
True. 100%. All right. So let's talk about water, replenishing that H2O, and the most important thing, treats, desserts.
Yes.
Cold treats for your trip.
Of course, which who doesn't want dessert, especially ice cream? Dole.
Yes. So like we mentioned before, you can get cups of water at all of the counter service restaurants. So you just have to ask. Sometimes, I'd say 25% of the time, they will give you a cup of just ice and tell you to go fill it up at the bottle filling station.
But that's okay, because when they do that, what do? We take that cup of ice and pour it in our water bottle that we brought, and then just fill it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we told you to bring a water bottle. This is important. I used to not do this, and I was like, I'll pay for the water. And then when I came home and looked at my statement and said, I spent $76 on water, I'm going to bring that water bottle.
Well, yeah, especially because when you are at the park during the summertime, one is not enough to share.
No.
Like you each need one by yourself every
and
hour.
Those suckers are $3.50 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
That adds up.
It's a lot.
$7, folks, for two people. Can't imagine a family.
Yeah.
So bring that water bottle. It's worth it. They've got water filling stations all around the park. These are somewhat new. Most of them are pretty good. A couple of them I would say stay away from, specifically the Galactic Grill one. It's at kid reaching station. I did see a kid stick his hand up and start touching like the nozzle it came out of. And I'm like, that's disgusting, kid.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars one's kind of out of reach of little ones. Again, they don't know what they're doing. But, they've been touching stuff at the park and they're touching where your water comes out of.
Our favorite one's in Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge, yeah. So it looks like it's like sludge that's coming out of a tank. It's really cool.
And there's like a character or like a monster inside of it.
It's themed very well. And that one is the newest. And so in my head, I think that's clean water. I don't know. I'm a germaphobe, not going to lie. But yeah, ask for cups of water at the restaurants. And then if at all fails, you can always go to those bottle filling stations and fill that water bottle up. Yeah. What else here?
Let's talk treats, because I think
let's talk
this is
dessert.
important. Some nice cold treats. And we're going to start over at Disneyland. Number one cold treat that we highly suggest, of course, is Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
You can go head over to Tropical Hideaway, get yourself a Dole Whip swirl. There's different flavors.
Classic Tiki Room.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's the float, the pineapple juice.
Yeah, fun story. first time we wanted to try it, it was with my family. And of course, being, I don't know how old I was. You know when you want everything like adult, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to get a kid's thing or I don't want to whatever. So my dad's taking orders from everyone. Everyone else got a normal Dole Whip, right? Me wanting, I don't know, being annoying. I'm like, hey, I want the float because it looks big and it looks good. I had like 4 bites and I was like, I don't like it that much.
It's just and to me, it's too much.
It's a lot of pineapple and it's a lot of sugar and I don't know. I just didn't like it that much. And so I remember like, like, what do I do with it?
Your mom's like, just throw it away.
My mom like looked behind me and saw me and she's like, just throw it away. Don't let dad see. And I was like, okay. So I threw it away. I didn't get caught. It wasn't the like look of why did you order that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, Dole Whips are a classic. Gibson Girl ice cream. This is your favorite. You like to get your cone of ice cream?
Yes, mobile order is key, especially on hot days.
Yes, mobile order because your ice cream's going to melt if you don't.
Yep. Always Starbucks.
Market House.
Market House.
Yeah, what? That's our name.
Go get your iced coffee or your, I don't know, refresher.
You know what? I never get it. I get a Frappuccino once or twice a year, and it's always at a Disney park.
The caramel frap, right?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Fruit from the food stands.
Yes.
Pineapple thing.
Which they have the pineapple spears.
Which is so good.
Also at Pooh's Corner, they have pineapple that's dipped in chocolate.
Yum.
Which is amazing. And then also for all you grape lovers like me, in Adventureland and all throughout the parks, they have little areas where you can get like the little grapes.
Yeah.
Inside the bag. There's pickles. There's
it's like
hummus.
$12 for a bag of grapes.
I know that hummus and pretzels aren't treats, but they're cold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anything cold is delicious.
Yeah. And I love the pickles.
Yeah.
They're so good.
You love your pickles.
Yeah. But yeah.
Blue milk. That's our last thing at Disneyland.
Yeah, I didn't mention green. I'm not a big fan of the green milk.
No, we don't even mention it. Doesn't exist. Green milk's not that good.
The blue milk, just you got to do it. It's so good.
So if you want a weird treat, again, I wouldn't like. This is not on the top of the list. It's a little weird.
It's a little odd. It's like it's so weird. It's good.
Yeah,
but
yeah, get that over at Galaxy's Edge. That's a fun one for the kids. I like that.
And then over at DCA, of course, we have ice cream at Clarabelle's. We have the lemon soft serve at Adorable Snowman Frosted Treats, which is very yummy and Instagrammable.
Yeah, it's over at Pixar Pier?
Pixar Pier, right by Incredicoaster. And then Schmoozies, which is a fan fave of ours.
Yes.
They have milkshakes. They have, again, smoothies, obviously, but their smoothies are really good.
Yeah, and they've got like coffee shake stuff too, right?
They have an affogato over there, which is ice cream with an espresso shot. I haven't tried that yet, but that's definitely on our list. Also, one of my favorite stores at DCA is Bing Bong's. They have memory refreshers, which is like slushies with one has like nerds and the other one has like boba on the top.
They look very cool.
Very popular. So, and again, Starbucks. What's the name in Starbucks at DCA?
Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical Cafe.
That's the weirdest.
I memorized it.
Yeah.
It's a weird name.
So go get yourself some treats, cool off, and
yeah. And this is key. Again, snacks are kind of pricey, so at Disney. So again, a previous episode, we've said, pack your stuff beforehand, right? Pack some trail mix, what have you, just to kind of keep you full during the day and charged up. You can't pack cold stuff,
No.
It's hot. So these are the things, if you're going to blow some money on snacks, get some cold
and treat yourself.
Treats. Yeah,
get
man.
that dessert.
You're at Disneyland. On vacation.
Do it.
You're going to burn. I always say we're going to burn it off. Like, oh, we're walking all day, man.
Even if you don't burn it off, who cares? Get that ice cream. Get that waffle cone.
Yeah.
Get that pretzel
Just work
cheese.
extra hard when you get home.
Get that Frappuccino.
Yeah, with extra caramel.
Extra caramel.
All right. This brings us to kind of our last point, and it's not so much something you need to prep for, but it's just kind of a friendly reminder.
Yeah.
Go in with realistic expectations. This is not your Christmas trip. This is not your spring break trip where it's the perfect weather. Again, if you've been to SoCal in the wintertime, it's not really winter. It's like 58 degrees, 65 degrees.
Right.
So it's warmer than most of the country. And you can get a lot done because you just don't feel drained.
Right.
Like when I think about our Christmas trips, we're there all day. Because first of all, it closes early. Right. Usually closes at 8 or 9 p.m. But yeah, you just don't feel as drained. You get a lot more done just because it's cooler outside and people... Yeah. So yeah, I mean, go in knowing you're going to get hot. You're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to get kind of grumpy because it's going to be really hot and you're going to be in a line that's 45 minutes long. It's just kind of the name of the game, going to a theme park in the dead of summer.
Yeah, and again, like Caleb stated, it's just easier going into your trip that you've saved so much for.
Yeah.
With the expectations of, it's going to be hot. We're going to get through it. We're going to make a good time out of it.
Exactly.
Just a positive outlook because...
And it's okay, like, for you to look at the other person or your family and go, you know what? I'm really tired and sweaty. Can we just go recharge?
Or let's go change our clothes
Yep.
or let's refresh. Because at the end of the day, it's like if you go in with those expectations, it's just going to make the trip so much better. Because you know, like, I know what to expect. I'm just going to make the best out of it now.
Totally.
So...
Yeah, no, it's a fun time. Again, this may all sound like, oh God, I don't want to go.
No,
whatever.
go.
It's fun. If that's the only time you can go, a million times go.
Yeah.
It's going to Disney is always better than not. Mm-hmm. It's just you have to kind of prep differently than a cooler trip. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
and again, positive attitude.
And you know what? Maybe you guys can schedule. You know what? This would be an ideal trip in the summer. Do like 1 or 2 days at the park.
Okay.
One break day. If you can fit one more vacation day in that
like
trip.
A pool day?
A pool day, or go to the, you're in SoCal, go to the ocean.
Yes.
Go to Huntington Beach.
Go to Huntington Beach and this is off topic.
Go to Long Beach.
To Sidecar Donuts.
That's down in Newport.
Go to Newport. They have the
Costa
best
Mesa.
donuts. Sidecar, if you ever listen, I love you.
Oh Lord, dude. So I remember we had it for the first time. Sidecar Donuts down in Costa Mesa near Newport Beach.
And
so,
they have gluten-free.
Yes, you can stop on the way. So when you're going down, 55, I think is what it is. Hop off on Costa Mesa, grab your donuts, and continue on for 5 or 10 minutes, and you'll hit the beach. One of the nicest beaches in the country. Fancy homes. I wish I could live there. But grab your donuts. They are some of the best donuts you'll ever have. They have both gluten-filled and gluten-free donuts. They're amazing. So good that I came back and was like, are there franchise opportunities? I would open one in Sacramento if I could.
Yeah, and again, it's really unique because the staff is always so friendly.
Yeah.
They're making the donuts right in front of you.
And they're super
like in the you can
in true
see them.
SoCal fashion.
Yeah, and they have good coffee, and just the shop is it's really pretty inside. And
everyone looks like an actor or actress in her tan.
Oh yeah,
and
they're
like,
all adorable.
Sup, bro?
Yeah, it's a great area. So again, take a day off if you can. If you want to build that into your vacation, go to the beach, go get donuts.
Yes,
go get some good food. And
just enjoy it. That's one rest day, and then you hit the parks the last day. But yeah, that's our tips. Hopefully that helps you in your Disneyland summer vacation.
Yeah.
And we're prepping for one ourselves. We're going one in a few weeks, so we're going to take this advice ourselves and implement it during our next trip.
Yeah, and also if you guys have any tips that you and your family kind of like what you guys do on your trips, do you have anything for us? Like definitely let us know. Like send us a message on Instagram. We would love to hear because again, like Caleb said, we are going in June, so we are always up for new ideas and things to do.
That'd be fun. Maybe on our next picture or something like that you post, they can comment on that.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you and spending time with us every week. It's fun.
Yes.
This is fun. So you can find us on Instagram at Market House Podcast. Caitlin's always killing it over there, posting reels and pictures and stories and what have you on the IGs. I always sound like an 80-year-old when I'm like, Instagram is fun.
You're so sweet. Yeah, we have some new friends on there.
We do have some new friends.
So hello, new friends, if you're listening.
What is up? You could follow us also on Twitter at Market House Pod.
Yes.
That's me and my snarkiness over there. So if you want some more...
You're also killing it over there.
Text-based hot takes.
Yeah, and I think, again... Twitter is a great area to follow because Kayla posts like things all the time on there. So rather than just being like one little post, like there's constantly stuff that he's retweeting or he's talking about. So definitely head on over there and follow along.
It's fun. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please. So that includes both stars and a written review over at Apple Podcast or just the stars over on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm curious who's going to be the first one to review.
Please do it.
I can't wait.
Yeah, whoever you are, you'll be our best friend.
I can't wait. It's going to be great.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Join us next week for another episode of Market House. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye. Good timing.